night, capiche? Good 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 night, capiche?
She's crazy.
Which one?
All right.
Yeah, you're going crazy. Burn live, y'all. Burn through conversation. Oh, that's a good night for kids, man. What's up, y'all? I just want to play my music in the background. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we get down here. Hey. I just want to play this real quick. Hold on. I just love breakdowns. I love breakdowns. Hey! Burn live, baby. Y'all know what we doing. We definitely in the good, man. Good night, Chief, man. I'm your host tonight. I'm your host tonight. My co-host. I like how you say it, like, you ain't do some shit. I'm like, okay, cool. I ain't got to come over no night. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Good Night Show, where we talk about everything that's going on, that's trending. And today, I didn't get a chance to really go over and look up stuff that was trending. And what had just hit my timeline is a unfortunate thing that's going on in Detroit. I do want to go over it to understand it more and clearer and better. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to learn together and what's going on. Let me break it down. Let's go.
Enforcement sources tell ABC News he posted on social media that his relatives were killed in the ongoing Israeli strikes. This is video of his Michigan home. The FBI calling this a targeted act of violence against the Jewish community.
I saw someone lying on the ground, and that person happened to be one of the head of security who got hit by the car. And then after that, I heard gunshots, bang, 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 bang. And I believe it was obviously one of our security officers.
Police say Ghazali was found dead inside the vehicle, which had burst into flames. The officer was hit by the truck, is expected to be okay. 140 preschool children were inside the building when the chaos unfolded, but none of them nor any of the synagogue staff or teachers were hurt.
How far?
You know, if you do anything at a synagogue, it's automatic hate crime.
Yeah, Catholic Church, like, damn, dog. And most synagogues are church or school.
You mean like place of worship in school?
Yeah. But y'all see how big this is? Look how big that is. That's a church and school all over one campus.
And good evening. We begin tonight with a terrifying day for America. 2 horrific attacks, 700 miles apart, both being investigated as a possible terror attack. They come as the war with Iran rages on amid fears of retaliation here in the U.S. Right now, there is currently no known connection between a deadly shooting at a Virginia University and an attack on a Michigan synagogue. But they have sent a chill across the country tonight. This was the scene outside of Detroit today, one of the biggest synagogues in the country. Fire pouring out of it after a man rammed his car into its doors, then security started shooting. The synagogue had trained for an attack, and security took down the assailant, who died before any lives were lost. And at Old Dominion University in Virginia, a man firing on military officers in training, killing one of them and injuring 2 others. He had previously been arrested for supporting the terror group ISIS, both being investigated now as possible acts of terrorism. The president last night saying they were aware of Iranian sleeper cells inside the U.S. These incidents, experts say, more likely to be lone wolves than directed by.
I swear I just got done explaining that to somebody. I can't even think who I was explaining it to, but I was like, no, my boss at work. Shout out to my boss at work, you know what I'm saying? Really going down. But I was just explaining it because she's like, damn, are we at where? I was like, you technically, and people have been arguing with me, and this has been my thing. When I explain to people about the war, let me look close up real quick. The war, when you say war is when 2 countries are going at each other. Not when one country is bombing another country. That is not a war. Y'all can call it an invasion. I'm cool with that. That's more realistic than saying it's a war. A war is when 2 countries fight back. Iran can't fight back against America, period. We have way too much. We started off by taking out all their navies. So they ain't got no navy. Then we took out their intel so they can communicate back and forth. Like, I think when I say this, because in all war, these are the main factors that you go after when countries attack. It's always that army bases, your natural resources, and anything and roads. Any major roads is getting wiped out. So let me get back into this.
By Iran. We'll get into that in a moment, but we begin on the ground in Michigan. Ty Steele from our affiliate WDIV is outside that synagogue.
A terrifying scene at a Michigan synagogue today that's now being investigated as possible terrorism, according to the FBI. Police, bomb squads, and the FBI all racing to Temple Israel in West Bloomfield after reports of an active shooter and fire that was spreading across the sprawling complex. Authorities telling NBC News a man with a rifle drove a vehicle into the building with preschool in session. The suspect then managed to drive down a hall, but security guards working for the synagogue opened fire with the semi-automatic weapons. The suspect died.
It's hard to say how fast. I mean, he was traveling with purpose and down the hall.
Smoke seen billowing from the building is believed to be from a fire connected to the suspect's vehicle, which may have had explosives inside.
You couldn't even see the hall was completely clear. We had to send people in with gas masks to clear that area.
Now, people, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, y'all really need to pay attention. It is really time to keep our heads on a swivel. My resources have been talking about this in their news coverages. Everybody in all 50 states need to keep their head on a swivel. There are sleeper cells. Definition of sleeper cells are people who are secret agents that be in your city and they don't get activated until a crime happens in that country or that country call out like, hey, I need you to go do something. That's what we're happening now. Go ahead.
I just think when you see things like this on the news, it's propaganda.
So you think it's fake?
Not saying it's necessarily fake, but maybe it could be twisted a little bit, you know?
Now, And I get you where
But
you
just
could say,
for example, she read it, say armed man rammed vehicle into Michigan synagogue. Let's say I was just drunk driving and I ran into it and I happen to have a gun. It'll say the same thing.
yeah, because it's not giving the full narrative of the suspect.
Because they just said he had bombs and shit. Like he had a.
No, it said that, but they're not sure if it was bombed. But then the biggest question is to that, it would be like this, bro. If a car crashed into a building, let me play this
with purpose and down the
if a car
hall.
crashed into a building, car is not gonna make a whole building smoke up.
Not that much.
Not that much.
Not that much.
So therefore, they're speculating the bomb, and I'm not gonna argue with that. I'm not gonna put that part down on the part, but yet again, when you see,
but
that,
do you see how it could be propaganda, though, right?
I see how they can sway the narrative, and I've been paying attention to that a lot when it comes to news coverage. When it's NBC, CBS, Fox, CNN, the narrative of how they put their story is amazing, and I do.
That's for a reason, though. That's for a reason
to catch feelings.
Yeah. Because it's all
From the building is believed to be from a fire connected to the suspect's vehicle, which may have had explosives inside.
You couldn't even see the hall was completely clear. We had to send people in with gas masks to clear that area.
The sheriff says one of the security guards was taken to the hospital after being hit by the vehicle, but is expected to be okay. No Temple staff or children from the daycare or preschool were injured. They were all evacuated and hours later reunited with their families. The president spoke about today's incident.
It's a terrible thing.
We're
gonna be right down to the bottom of it.
Law enforcement says
Oh, my bad, y'all.
in the area,
Nobody
many were already on heightened alert after recent authorities telling NBC News a man with a rifle drove a vehicle into the building with preschool in session. The suspect then managed to drive down a hall, but security guards working for the synagogue opened fire with the semi-automatic weapons. The suspect died.
It's hard to say how fast. I mean, he was traveling with purpose and down the hall.
Smoke seen billowing from the building is believed to be from a fire connected to the suspect's vehicle, which may have had explosives inside.
You couldn't even see the hall was completely clear. We had to send people in with gas masks to clear that area.
The sheriff says one of the security guards was taken to the hospital after being hit by the vehicle, but is expected to be okay. No Temple staff or children from the daycare or preschool were injured. They were all evacuated and hours later reunited with their families. The president spoke about today's incident.
It's a terrible thing. We're going to be right down to the bottom of it.
Law enforcement says it is ramping up security at all Jewish facilities in the area.
Now, you know how you say propaganda?
Mm-hmm.
The only propaganda that I've been hearing about is that all this stuff could be fake so Trump don't get out of office. I heard that speculation. I heard that word propaganda.
I mean, for whatever reason, it's propaganda. It's propaganda. And I only say it's propaganda from things like, even if you go back in the news thing, you see how all that traffic was right there? You see how all of them standing right there? Like, when I witness things like these, I don't, like, it just seems so staged, you know? Look at all that. It just seems so staged to me.
That looks like chaos. Chaos, corruption.
No, it really don't look like chaos because half of the vehicles you see are police vehicles.
Police vehicles. Surrounding 3 buses. And the tow truck, I guess, to get the one vehicle, the car. What I don't like about this scenery, just this scenery alone.
Where the fuck is the bus supposed to go?
Right. Right. You're right. But what this shows, what this picture by itself shows me personally when I look at it, is like the video that I did earlier today. For those who didn't watch it, please go watch Cop Cam because it was a good one. It was exclusive. But yet again, like I said over there, this shows a waste of taxpayers' money. This where I get to be a little bit liberal, a little bit Democrat, and be like, defund these motherfuckers. Because this is way
and
too
hours
much.
later,
This is way too much.
No.
Huh? You got one person, one man.
But that goes into how much did they know before it got like this? Because they all they probably heard was nigga with a gun at a school.
Remember, you ran into the
right, but I'm saying though, but how do they know it was not another hit coming after that, or
True. I get it.
When it comes to schools and
I get it. But yet again,
but that is a lot of
that's a lot of
PTO, police PTO, and overtime, and
that's two SWATs. That's a SWAT. That's a SWAT.
And a tow truck.
And a tow truck. And these are all special units. These special.
But that's why I be saying I think it's propaganda.
That's propaganda. I don't like it because that propaganda that costs. Propaganda costs. Everything costs.
Man, you need to look into Sandy Hook, man.
Sandy, you know that pizza gate thing that you was talking about
that I was telling Jason about 8 years ago.
But you know they
that's a real thing. It's not a conspiracy. It's real. Yeah.
You know they asked her about it.
Asked who about it?
Hillary.
Yeah, you see what she did? She was like, she kind of was like, because she have, muscle memory on what she was. One day I'll show you. Just like I asked Jason. This shit was 8 years ago.
Yeah, I watched a report that talked all about it. And actually, dude was like, I'm not, just read the stories of the report. And so, therefore, when she got asked and she said that it wasn't, legit, I was like, oh.
Reunited with their families. The president spoke about today's incident.
It's a terrible thing. We're going to be right down to the bottom of it.
Law enforcement says it is ramping up security at all Jewish facilities in the area. Many were already on heightened alert after recent attacks against the Jewish community. From arson at a Mississippi synagogue to a car repeatedly ramming into a Chabad center in New York. And in December, the shooting on Bondi Beach in Australia at a Hanukkah celebration that killed 15 people. Temple Israel is one of the largest Jewish congregations in the entire United States, with more than 3,000 families. A rabbi there says they have had a plan in place in case any incidents like this one. And the sheriff says since the war with Iran began, they've been coordinating with law enforcement at all levels.
I think police officers should have a special unit.
Special for what?
Special school unit.
Yeah, but that might cost more still.
No more the cost than after the fact that an incident went down.
Maybe we should have the police stations and schools next to each other. That might a little closer to each other,
Yeah, but yet again, just because it's gonna be close to what? That's a lot of police stations. So you're gonna have a lot of substations. Divide up a unit.
Yeah, maybe the way we do our schools and our thing, maybe we should rearrange,
Or just make the schools the substation.
Or at least have give
them an office.
Give them an office. Take 2 months.
They got jails. They got jail cells in baseball stadiums.
For what?
Huh?
For what?
For when you do a crime in a stadium and they want to hold you into the police car.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
And they lock you up in there for petty crime and let you out.
No, I feel that.
So I say that by saying, like, if you go put a substation, you might have to put a jail cell in there too. A holding station, I guess that would be the proper way to say it.
No, the whole point of them being there is to be protect.
It's just to prevent.
It's to protect the kids.
Protect the kid, but yeah, you got juvenile delinquents.
I mean, I think anytime somebody do something like shoot up school or crash into a school, I think all that's propaganda. I ain't saying that ain't possible.
You don't think somebody's sick, crazy in the head?
I do, but I don't think children are the people that they would go out. Because I've known some sick individuals. I've known some, and we've met like, you know how much work it takes to go shoot up a school? I'm just saying, people would want to do other things.
Sorry, I've been in those shoes of people that want to shoot up a school. I get it. I know those mental thoughts and why. I know all that peer pressure and getting picked on and bullied and want to get revenge. Now, in this situation right here, this is different. This is more.
No, I understand that, but I don't think enough. Like I don't know, bullying. Then you want to go shoot up a school?
If a school is doing it,
it's not a school that's gonna do it. It's a person.
Bro, I got bullied by a school.
Me too. I mean, I understand what you mean.
No, you don't. Because you want to keep saying a person, and I'm saying people. Maybe that'll settle into the brains of understanding. You say person, I'm saying people. I'm saying a neighborhood. Say we had to walk three blocks over, 3 blocks back. That was tetrifying. I walked 6 blocks over and 6 blocks back.
No, I feel it. I understand. I understand. They're different experience, but I understand it.
It's a deal, but again, it's all.
Yeah.
If I had to deal with that one, you know what I'm saying? Everybody be like, hey, y'all need to go ahead and get it over with. Then leave that boy alone. You see, he can't fight.
Right. No,
but you fight him, damn, cuz, crippin', folk, GD, blood.
Yeah, that's how, like, bro, yeah, that's how it is in Chicago a little bit.
That's unnecessary.
Because imagine if you go to a certain school, but you got to pass a rival school to get home.
They say I never had that. We got bused to school, so all that stuff.
That's cousin up there?
Yeah.
See, man, I thought when you be having them on here, they be on the thing too.
No, they could come up. I could send them an invite. But, you know, some people, when it comes to this internet, dog,
see a lot of
you really got to learn the people, because people are people. And I think a person look at people as a person, and they take everything personal and try not to realize that there are different people in the world. And the few that understand that are the ones that can get a big following or get a big attraction of people to come around them. Now, some people do it on accident because they got attention. And when you got attention, yeah, you just draw people.
I don't know. I mean, I agree, but I think having a variety of different people on there is also a great way to get a great following.
Yeah. Look at this. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. So y'all can see what we're talking about. Oops.
Yeah.
So this is a
What's up, Mr. Official?
How you doing?
You know what I'm saying?
My name is Liam. It says debate. Should broke men be allowed to date in 2026?
Now, yes. Reading that out loud. That's a dumbass debate, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that's a dumb debate, but even the way they got it,
that's true.
Worded is so retarded.
But yet again,
it should broke people. Broke people.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And you're right. Should broke people.
It should be broke people, but this is how society is now.
But yet again, they act like broke people can't look for love. Like, damn, you broke, so what?
But of course, this is just a Jedi mind trick, though.
But see,
immediately, I started growing customers. It takes years. It takes it don't take 1 or 2 years. It takes 7 years to grow a business.
And Gemini King.
That's what you gotta do.
Hold on one moment. Gemini King, no liar. There are TikTokers who battle every day. They make 50 to 60K a week. One of my TikTok friends on TikTok is Tyler Rivers, Barbs.
I make over
I'm
6
talking
figures.
to this guy. Hold on, I'm talking to this guy in the chat. Yeah, there's a couple of TikTok battles.
Yet again, you're talking to the chat. You have a panel full of people, and you're not discussing the conversation with the people. Why? Because yet again, to define the word broke is a personal standard for every different individual person.
Whether you man or woman, kids or no kids.
But damn, broke together, get rich together. You forgetting about that asset. Like that does happen.
Right. That's why just engaging in that conversation is just a Jedi mind trick.
That just and then you got this. Praising God.
To get triples, y'all. Triples 3 times.
Don't hit the foreigners.
Foreigners are getting
money. Look, they got 64 watching.
Really?
No. On South Africa, South Africa.
Boy, this nigga got a whole donation plan, number, call, contact, funds going on.
I'm playing, boy. You just not platform, man. Na platform Jugu Marija. Nanka Jugu Marija Ghana. Ana oge m na-eje na nke Jugu Marija.
Completely out.
You can't go wrong with a good moo. I don't know what's wrong with these people.
Me
neither.
Baby, I'm going to I'm so proud of you and get on that rap side.
I'm telling you, Terry.
This is a thing called I'll be over here. So
I got like
I'll pop
2
it up
hours
to
for a night game.
show you how it really rocks. And then you see the TikTok side. This is just the behind the scenes,
Africa, right?
I don't know what that is. I know that's scary looking, period.
DNA test because too many men were not the father, which I agree. I don't even care who you are. Everybody should have one because people lie.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I wrote off. I told them I wanted to discontinue.
You can't be in the rear when the baby is born. That doesn't make any sense.
When you establish paternity.
Oh, I keep trying to tell people that men are attacked. Men are some men are speaking up that, but yet again, they don't believe that. Going to these different panels, understanding everything be about the man.
I mean, but I'm not People get your money. If content is getting the way you're getting your money, get your money.
But see, these people don't get like you got to do a lot to get money off of this. All these people, you see these numbers right here. These are pennies. He got 2 pennies, 7 pennies, 8 pennies, 9. You know what I'm saying? He got 34 cents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then she got 64 taps. So people got to give you these gifts right here.
But people be doing that shit.
Yeah. Once you
listen on YouTube, if I'm not, all I really like on YouTube is true crime documentaries.
Everybody into that.
So I was watching one when I went home, a true crime documentary. Girl pop up out the blue. Oh, surprise! Go live. Just got some new information about whatever crime she was talking about. You feel me? I'm looking at the super chat. 99, 50, 40.
The more information that you drop, the more money that you drop there.
It ain't even about. I don't
It
think
is.
no.
Yeah.
Because it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily about the information.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
No. I think it's just got to
YouTube.
Yeah. I think it's just your niche. I think it's you got to find your lane because the true crime story that she be doing and everybody else do, they all you know what I'm saying? But she just happened to do some random live, and most of her supporters was whoa.
But then, cause everybody like that true crime. I got a girl that watch cop cam stuff. Like she give me certain videos to woo. So you know what I'm saying. I know she watches my shows on Thursdays.
I mean, whatever.
So you know what I'm saying. Thursday, that's why every day I got something different. Instead of
But I will say this
thing.
though, that true crime you have to do the editing and
that true crime. I personally need somebody.
Well, I can put you on so many good cases.
I need somebody that if you're gonna do that, you might want to be up this panel with me. I would host it, yes, but I'm not. That's not my itch.
You don't need to be.
I would get into it because everybody's into it, but yet again, you know what I'm saying. I don't even know how to chase it. Me personally,
it's because it's not your thing to chase. It's just because true crime don't necessarily have to be a live show.
What recording?
It don't necessarily have to be live.
No, only reason I go live is because it's in my name.
Yeah. But I'm saying that if you know how to make it, you properly used all the softwares.
I do know how to do that.
Like video editing, where you can just read off a script, and it'd be your 50-minute true crime video, just be you reading off a script.
Yeah,
not live though.
See, I can't do that.
Yeah, it's just
because that'll take all of me away from me.
Yeah. I mean, until you get better at it,
But that take away. Because politics took my sense of humor and jokes. That's why I really go on TikTok.
Oh no, man!
I'm keeping it real. Like me being on YouTube and doing this through here, I had got so serious that I got away from my comedic side. And what brought it back was me being on TikTok, being on panel. So I'll be trying to bring panels up here on YouTube, so people don't think that I'm all just so damn strict. Because I got a partner named Doc. If you come over Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm gonna go live at 11, and he'll be one of the first people to tell you, like, yeah, Kapeash has no feelings at all, period. And my argument would be like, I do have feelings, I just share them differently. I don't look at situations with feelings. I look at situations legally. I can't go through feelings because feelings are you just look at shit wrong. That's just what I have learned.
People say all type of things, man.
Let's see. Yeah, this is my boy. Oh,
incorrectly said that the bombs that were This morning, I issued a correction first thing in the morning on X for a mistake that I made in last night's show, but I also wanted to do so on air as well. I incorrectly said that the bombs that were thrown by ISIS-inspired suspects in New York over the weekend were directed at Mayor Mamdani. They were not. I failed to catch and correct that mistake in real time, and I take full responsibility for that. And while we do make mistakes, it is important to acknowledge and correct those errors when they happen.
And I actually, there was a report in the New York Times, and they interviewed an engineer from Tehran. And what he said was interesting. He said that a lot of people in Tehran, in Iran, actually don't necessarily want the bombs to stop dropping, because if the bombs stop dropping, it means that the Iranian regime currently in place is still in place. And for them, they said, we are thought of as human shields for the Iranian regime. So we want this regime gone. So I actually think, of course, bombings are horrible, especially when they accidentally kill young girls. That is.
What that say?
What are you talking about?
Right there. Sources. U.S. assessment shows American strike hit school.
Yeah, they've been trying to claim that. I did that report at the beginning.
That's the other side of the propaganda. You feel me? That's the other side. Because as soon as I seen hit school, I just got real mad. But I don't really. Yeah.
Absolutely tragic and awful. But I do think the Iranian people see this as a risk calculation and are saying, look, if the choice is to live under the current Iranian regime, at least according to this guy in the New York Times.
One guy in the New York Times. In that same story, there were other people who were opposed to the regime, who had been opposed to the regime, but now feel pressure, basically are supporting the regime against the United States.
If they're supporting a suicide, right? And
I think trying to get a sense of where Iranians are.
You said that you are confident that the world is better after the death of Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, but his son,
100%.
his son, but his son is
kill every last member of their.
I'll tell you that.
Say it.
Who's she know in Vegas?
What? That's. You talking about this or this?
That's why I said I'll tell you later.
How about that?
Their leadership.
Well, his son is now in charge, and he's considered even more of a hardliner.
Well, they should kill him too.
Oh, well, maybe they will, but in the meantime, he's been elected by their 88 clerics to be the guy in charge. It's hard to see how we're better off with him in charge. And did you expect the?
They just killed his father.
Are he the son, or
Yeah.
that the person they killed?
This the son.
Iranian people to rise up, as I think President Trump expected, and encourage them to do?
Well, there's also a fact that he hasn't been able to produce a video or scene in public at all. Why? Maybe they're seriously injured. It could be very hard to just sit down and even do a video and have them put that out. So
So we got to talk about this pretty wild interview here on CNN featuring Kaylin Collins and John Fetterman.
It's hard to see how we're better off with him in charge. And did you expect the Iranian people to rise up, as I think President Trump expected?
With him, he is the commander in chief, and he chose to go to war without coming first to Congress. And you can see how haphazardly they're conducting this war. They seem to be surprised that the war is spreading. Why would you be surprised? Anybody, basic military intelligence would tell you that immediately an attack like this would draw in our allies, would put Americans in the region in greater danger. And I am deeply, deeply concerned that we are less safe today than before these attacks began by President Trump.
Yeah. So you seen that, you heard that. Now, Democrats and the liberal media, they're obsessed with this story. Now, to me, I just find it fascinating how they're obsessed with these Iranian schoolgirls who, at least according to reports, were accidentally bombed by the United States. Now, President Trump is saying, hey, I don't know about all that, right? I don't know if we actually did it. I don't know either. Okay. I don't know if we did it either. But what I do know is that there has not been this much outrage from Democrats when it comes to actual American citizens who have been the victims of being killed by foreign invaders, right? So they're more upset about what allegedly happened in Iran to schoolgirls who, again, by the way, very sad, right? What happened to them, right? Not great, obviously. Super sad situation. I don't know if it was our missile or what, but if it was our missile, we clearly were not targeting civilians, right? We thought that it was a military target, and that's why it was targeted. It was an accident, right? But what's not an accident is when you had millions of illegals pour in. To the border and ended up killing American citizens, like, for example, Lake and Riley. And you had Tammy Duckworth, who, again, all of a sudden is now so concerned about these schoolgirls in Iran that voted against the Lake and Riley Act, right? Voted against legislation that would protect schoolgirls in the United States of America, like Lake and Riley, from foreign invaders. In fact, this woman basically has argued against the president protecting this country and schoolgirls here in the United States from foreign invaders.
Grave danger to the United States. Anyone who believes that gangs that flood our country with fentanyl or cocaine are not threats to the United States is not living in reality and certainly does not reflect the opinion of most Americans.
The president already said that he was ready to put American troops in Venezuela again. So we're internment law.
No, but we're talking about two separate things here. So you're talking about the state of Venezuela, or are describing the regime. And we're talking about, but what the president designated.
Invoked the Alien Enemy
I know,
Act.
Senator, but let me be clear with you. No, but what the president was talking about are these gangs that have, and these narco trafficking groups that are waging war on the United States. There's no doubt. These groups have waged war on the United States. They have waged, for example, Train de Agua is not just a criminal gang presence in our street. It is a criminal gang directly responsible for narco trafficking.
The Trump administration has acknowledged that the vast majority of the men it rounded up and deported to torture under this law had no criminal records whatsoever.
We didn't torture
Independent, over 75%.
Who did we torture? We haven't tortured anybody. We've arrested people that are members of gangs and we've deported them. We don't want gang members in our country.
Have found that many of the men were here legally. If the administration is willing to lie about who it's targeting under this law, what protections do totally innocent people have against abuse? Again, I want to ask you, will you advise the president to rescind his invocation of the wartime alien enemy?
No, of course not. I mean, these are people that are threats to the national security of the United States. But I've described this in hearings in the past, including
so you're saying that we're at war?
We are absolutely. When it comes to narco trafficking groups and criminal gangs that are targeting the United States for criminal activity,
we're in a state of war.
There's no doubt about the fact that we're confronting them in a warlike setting because they're waging war
on. And do the Geneva Convention?
They're waging war against us, and they're enemy combatants as a result of it. And the fact of the matter.
And do the Geneva Convention?
They're waging war against us, and they're enemy combatants as a result of it. And the fact of the matter is that we are confronting these irregular groups, and that's one of the great challenges of the new century in this hemisphere in particular, is that these non-state actors who possess state-like capabilities in terms of their weaponry pose a grave danger to the United States. I don't think any American would dispute that we have cartels that pose a threat to the national security
with all of the other laws of when it comes to warfare. I mean, you're saying that he can invoke this wartime power.
No, I'm saying, you're asking me, I'm here to discuss foreign policy and what's in the realm of the Department of State.
Well,
except you signed a letter today to Secretary Hegseth asking for an investigation into that strike on a girls' school in Iran. Why did you not sign that letter, Senator?
Well, because we all agree that it's a tragedy having the school hit. Absolutely. And we all agreed now for an investigation. What I don't agree with the rest of my colleagues in the House is that it's a war of choice, or it's dumb, or all the things that my colleagues have described, this operation. I think it's a good thing, and I support that. So we agree that and actually the Pentagon is already investing in that. They just acknowledged then that it seems increasingly likely that we were now on that. And now I think it's entirely appropriate, just like my colleague from Louisiana said. It's like, we should apologize that. That's a tragedy. And I would remind everybody listening right now, the United States never, ever targets civilians. Iran does, and including their own citizens. And they massacred that 35,000 of them just a couple of weeks ago. And the left, please, the left media is much more angry, about or talking about this hospital, and it is a tragedy, but they didn't seem to be as concerned about the Iranians massacring tens of thousands of their young people just a couple of weeks ago too. So we agree on many parts of it, but we both disagree. I mean, we all disagree that I think it's a good thing. And every single other Democrat in the caucus caused it all kinds of in negative terms.
We did cover the protest in Iran extensively here at CNN. Obviously, they said a lot about how internally people felt about the regime. But just to be clear,
so I don't know,
you do
but I'm
believe
talking about
if the
other
United
left media, and I didn't refine you as.
That's a great point by John Fetterman, right? Because he explicitly said left media, right? Liberal media. And for whatever reason, Kaylin Collins felt the need to respond to that by, defending CNN. Well, see, we did cover that, right? We did talk about it. And it's like, well, he was specifically talking about left media, right? The fact that she felt the need to respond to that, to defend CNN from that comment, tells you everything you need to know about what she considers CNN to be, which is liberal media, right? Left media. That's basically what that is. It's an admission.
I'm tired of people arguing that CNN is one-sided. CNN is not one-sided, homie. Them niggas is straight liberal. They trash Trump every second they get. Trump has not done nothing right since he got in office, fucking around with them. For real. Like, CNN, you can barely see them got clips. Now they got this one black guy, Abby Phillips, on that.
Fury to Iran if they stop
Now
the flow
that
of
they got-
oil in the Strait of Hormuz. He says that Iran will be hit
No,
20
him
times
up
harder
there.
than they already
I'll
have
fight that
been
a lot
if they
with
do anything to the
Nah,
ships
he-
in that
he-
strait.
I
The
know
threat
he-
comes as the average cost of a gallon of regular gas in America has reached $3.52. That is 55 cents higher than it was when the war started with Iran. Now, Trump says that he's not concerned about that surge. He told ABC News that it was, quote, fine and a little glitch. And on Truth Social, he said short-term oil prices is a very small price to pay. He added, only fools would think differently. He remained confident today. Listen.
We're putting an end to all of this threat once and for all, and the result will be lower oil prices, oil and gas prices for American families. Well, we're looking to keep the oil prices down. We went artificially up because of this excursion into a very positive thing. I mean, this was an excursion that a lot of people wouldn't have done. I knew oil prices would go up if I did this, and they've gone up probably less than I thought they'd go up. But I don't think anybody thought we were going to be this quickly successful.
Bobby Ghosh is joining us at the table. And Bobby, I want to play for you. This is another quote from an Iranian official interviewed by our Fred Plykin. And I have to note that CNN operates in Iran only with government permission, but we're able to get these pretty much immediate reactions. And here's what they said about how they view the oil threat in this conflict. Listen.
How does all of this end then? If you say right now there's no room for negotiation, President Trump says he wants complete surrender. What does that lead to?
There's no room unless the economic pressure would be built up to the extent that other countries would intervene to guarantee this termination of aggression of Americans and Israelis against Iran.
Iran seems to understand that they screws on the economic stuff, and that.
Bro, I hate when they do that. Y'all gave me the smallest clip of what that man said, not the full content. All right, now y'all finna try to have a breakdown to get a gotcha moment to make Trump look bad.
Man, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Y'all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever time that you're watching this. Good night, Kapeash.